From the campus of Rowan University in Glassboro, New Jersey, the GCEN presents high school football this afternoon. It's the Group 2 championship game as the West Deptford Eagles take on the Cedar Creek Pirates. Hello again, everyone. Rob Christ along with my partner Frank DeLano. A beautiful Sunday morning here in Glassboro. Sunny, slight breeze, beautiful conditions for football. Two teams that are very familiar with one another. They faced each other twice in this very game, and each team has won once. This is the rubber game. Both teams boast a tremendous lineup, a lot of talent on display. First, let's talk about the Cedar Creek Pirates. This is a team that has done a great job, a very limited run in terms of school history, but it seems like every year they're here.
Oh, no doubt. Coach Watson has done a phenomenal job, him and his staff. In just 6 years of existence, they've been in now 3 finals and putting together 45 wins over a 6-year time frame, 1 sectional title to your credit. That's something to be proud of.
For the Pirates, they boast a tremendous lineup, and they're led by Bo Melton, a man who can do it all behind the center, behind the quarterback as a running back, catches the ball well. He's finally healthy.
Bo's a triple threat guy. There's a reason why he's going to Rutgers. He's got almost 500 yards rushing, throwing another 500-600 yards receiving, over 1,000 yards all purpose. In those 2 categories. 15 touchdowns, and don't forget he's dangerous in the return game. Rutgers is getting a special athlete. Great change of direction, very explosive, first and goal anytime he touches the ball.
For West Deptford, this is a program that seems like they just do it each and every year. They've won so many games over the last 4 years, 40 games, unbelievable number. Clyde Folsom has really turned this program around, and every single year they're always in the discussion as the top teams. This year's no different. They seem like they just reload.
They do, and obviously being in the Colonial Conference for, what was the Colonial Conference, we have a lot of history together and great games versus each other. Very well coached program. Kids play real hard. Offensively, the wing T is a tough thing to defend. They play aggressive style defense, and listen, there's a reason why they have 6 sectional titles.
The heart and soul of this team has to be Gio Gismondi. Just to watch him, it's going to be a treat today. Never gives up. 2nd, 3rd, 4th tackler before he finally goes down.
As a guy who had to play him multiple times, we're going to make sure he walks across the stage and graduates. Gio's just an unbelievable player, and he's even a better kid when you get a chance to have a conversation with him. 1,200 yards rushing. He's got 16 touchdowns. You watch him on defense. He's the heartbeat of this team. Gio goes, so does West Deptford. They like to work inside out, try to develop the trap game, belly game, and you just watch the way he runs. He's explosive. He's dynamic. He can run around you. He can also run through you. He had a really big-time game last year in this environment, and I expect he'll do the same today.
A lot of times people just assume because it's a Group 2 school that they're not as good as the bigger schools. These are 2 of the best programs in the state of New Jersey, coached by 2 of the best coaches in the state of New Jersey. Great special teams, great defense, great offense. They'll have it all today. Stick around. We're going to have a good one for you. Welcome back to Rowan University, Richard Wacker Stadium. About to get underway. Group 2 championship game here on the GCEN, your Atlantic City Electric Game of the Week. West Deptford won the toss. They elected to defer. Cedar Creek will be receiving the football. A tremendous crowd on hand, as you see. Just so much on the line tonight. 44 degrees, mostly sunny. As you see, West Deptford in their traditional all green. They'll be going left to right. The wind is a factor today. We had an opportunity to do a couple championship games yesterday. It is appreciably less today, but as the day goes on, it will likely increase. Last year, your Group 2 final, West Deptford fell short. Cedar Creek won 28-27. This is the 3rd Group 2 final matchup in 5 years between these schools. They know each other, and we're underway. High booming kick deep into the end zone, and Cedar Creek will start at their 20-yard line.
Great start for West Deptford. Now you're going to try to force Cedar Creek to drive the football. First down, I think, is going to be critical for both teams as you go into this. It's going to be 2 contrasting different styles we want to see here today, Rob. You're going to have a team that wants to, in Cedar Creek, is going to be balanced, maybe go 60-40 in terms of run pass. They have a really good talent. They have a talented quarterback in Jesse Milza. They're going to try to distribute the football. Whereas Coach Folsom, if they don't have to throw a pass today, he's going to be happy.
We had an opportunity to see West Deptford a couple weeks ago, and their only passing opportunities turned into negative yardage, so very true. The handoff to start things for Cedar Creek, and Watson bottled up.
Nice little safe play to start the game, try to create some positive momentum. Little inside trap there, trying to trap it, kick out the end or the D tackle there. There you look at Jesse Milza. This is an underrated kid. He's a very good quarterback, good in the pocket.
Cracked the 5,000-yard career passing mark earlier this season. Milza, the lefty, throws out into the flat, has his man, and it's at the 26-yard line as Bo Melton is stopped.
Again, high percentage throw. They went empty there, 5 wides. Bo, I think if he stays down the sidelines, he has a little bit of real estate there. He wanted to cut back inside for some apparent reason, but hey, here you go. 3rd down. This is big. You look at it right here. On time, in rhythm, get the ball out of your hands. Stay to the sidelines. Stay to the sidelines. You have your brother there, 15, to block for you in Malachi Melton.
3rd down. 3 yards to go for Cedar Creek. Milza engineering the offense. Trips right. 5 receivers set. Milza with time. Throws to the outside, in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Isaiah Watson. Good coverage on the play. It looked like Milza forced that.
He did, and he went to the boundary with a little flat route, trying to get a high percentage throw, a little 3-4 yard route on third down there. Timing just slightly off. Credit to defense here. If you look, Milza once, very predetermined, saw something pre-snap that he liked to that side. Good coverage there too, as well, by number 66 from West Deptford. Nick Novak was a DN who dropped it back in coverage there.
Pat Moran is one of the best kickers in South Jersey. He will also do the punting for Cedar Creek. Again, you see a little bit of that wind. High punt, knocked down by the wind. They get a roll here on the turf at Rowan University. It will be down at the 46-yard line. West Deptford will take over for their first time with 10:27 remaining in this first quarter. So a good start defensively for West Deptford.
Ideal start for West Deptford. Deferring is also critical. You that's the worst thing you want to do is defer. Next thing you know, see a team drive right down and go 80 yards on in and score a touchdown. Force the 3 and out. Great field position. Now let's see how Cedar Creek can defend this explosive offense.
Oreo, your quarterback, the transfer from Kingsway. And the handoff right away, right up the middle. And it looked like Gismondi.
Yeah, Gismondi, he's a hard player. We talked about him at the top of the broadcast here. He is the heartbeat. They're going to try to work inside-outside game here. They're going to try to pound you to establish their belly game, which at fullback with the halfback leading up through. Probably some trap in here early as well. And then that hope for them, West Deptford wants their all eyes inside the middle here. And then they'll hit their edge plays.
Pete Oreo, the 6'2 junior, the son of a coach who's been around South Jersey for some time. There's the jet sweep, and Seas gets stopped in the backfield. They give him forward progress to only losing 1 yard. It looked like he may have lost more than that. And Seas is another transfer, came over from Kingsway. We had an opportunity to see him last year. What a talent.
Yeah, nice job there from Cedar Creek's end. Shane Jones, number 6, as well as Bo Melton there on a nice defending the edge there. Seas is a talented back. He's a 1,700-yard kid himself. He had 21 scores on the year. 3rd down. This is not ideal for West Deptford. Let's look for here an inside run play here. Misdirection here from one of their wingbacks.
Oreo. Play action, throws it, and misses his intended receiver by a good 20 yards. So Oreo, again, forcing it. And, it's always tough, Frank. You're coming out here. Everything's on the line. The adrenaline's pumping. It takes a little while to get settled and get the nerves out.
It does. And the good thing is now West Deptford has won the field position battle right now. You have 2 explosive returners back deep. So this is another one, another battle, a game within the game here. What are you doing with your punt game? Are you directionally kicking it? Are you kicking it out of bounds here? Or are you going to try to play the wind and try to kick it deep into the end zone?
Good snap. And the punt is away. It's a high kick, and they're going to let it bounce. And almost saved. A tremendous effort on the part of West Deptford. Again, this is a game of inches, as they say. Almost trapped them back inside the 1 yard line. Instead, they'll have a redo essentially, start once again at the 20.
Some clear miscommunication there between Chapman and Melton back there. Someone's got to call that football. There's got to be someone back there who you delegate as the general. Hey, I will make the call for both of us. Who's got it? They caught a break there because that was nearly down on the 1 yard line. Even at drive 99.
I mean, even if you're going to let it bounce, don't you want to block the guys coming down as well?
Where most teams will simulate a fair catch away from where the ball is landing to hopefully rally some troops there and let the ball go into the end zone.
So again, Cedar Creek will start out 1st and 10 from their own 20 in that spread offense. Melton in motion and the inside sweep. Melton, look at the speed to the outside. Melton breaks it down the sideline. Melton, can he stay inside? No, but a big gain for Bo Melton.
That was an interesting play there. It was jet sweep to the field there. Cedar Creek pulled both guards in the opposite direction to see, wait, it's an early pre-snap read. If you take a look here, fortunately you don't get the line play there, but both guards are going left as the play's going right. Just to see, wait, what are our backers reading today? And you just see the speed. That's probably why he's a Big Ten football player.
Bo Melton, as we mentioned, on his way to Rutgers University. He is multi-talented, not only that tremendous speed, but he has good hands. He's going to be used very well, kind of out of the Le'Veon Bell mode. Here's Milza, and he's in trouble. Milza ducks inside and dives to try to get back to the line of scrimmage, unable to do so.
Looks like a little inside zone read there and a little miscommunication. You're just lucky when that mesh gets attacked that way. You want to make sure you're just securing the football. You can live with 2nd and 11. You can't live with the turnover on your own 34-yard line.
Milza looks to the sideline for signals, talks things over with Tim Watson. Tim Watson in his 6th season, 49-15 mark. Watson played some football here at Rowan University, was originally out of the University of Maryland and went with that team in 1999, the Rowan team, to the Alonzo Stagg Bowl and ended up losing in the championship to Pacific Lutheran. Went on and played briefly with the Seattle Seahawks. Here's the handoff, and again, not a lot there for Isaiah Watson.
That's a really nice play by Kyle Garrison there. Really solid play. If not, there is some real estate there. That's a real nice open field tackle.
Garrison is typically a force defensively. Keep an eye on him.
It's interesting already. They're trying to the change of philosophies already, because first series Cedar Creek tried to push tempo, come out a little no huddle. Now they're huddling, being deliberate, trying to make sure they're accurate here, and they're going to go again 5 wides here on now 3rd and long. Watch some type of crossing routes here, Rob.
7.5 minutes left, first quarter, scoreless. Out of the shotgun, Milza throws, has a man, and overthrows his intended receiver. That would have been well short of the first down nonetheless, but just overthrew Malachi Melton. And again, Cedar Creek will be forced to punt it away. A appreciably different feel to this game already than the ones we did yesterday.
No doubt. The energy level here is fantastic, and I think some of the players are actually feeling it. Mills has got to settle down into the game here. He's a really good quarterback. As you just saw in the replay, just overshot Malachi Melton.
So once again, Moran will be forced to punt it away. It's going to be blocked, partially blocked. And it will be down at the 35-yard line. Moran looked like he kind of took his time on that.
He did, and that's one thing. When we played him, he did the same exact thing. But let's give credit here to West Deptford's punt block team, as well as Gio Gismondi. That is his 2nd block punt of the year. He's a playmaker. Again, the heart and beat of this team. He has set up his Eagles in an ideal situation now with 7 minutes left. You see it right there. He almost jumped past the ball, but he got in there so fast. There was 4 or 5 guys there. But give credit to Gio Gismondi again, 2nd block punt of the year, 35-yard line. Now here West Everton, great field position.
1st and 10. Sees inside double reverse.
It ends up being Lim right there. Ken Lim on the counter crisscross there. Just trying to get your eyes going one way. Initial handoff, the jet sweep away, hand it right back to the near far back.
Lim will probably breach the 1,000-yard mark today. He had 986 coming into today. There you see Lim. Again, they have so many weapons here. 10 touchdowns on the year for Lim.
And Lim and 88 there. Collier, their tight end, they're just sophomores.
Handoff, Gismondi, and nothing there. Maybe a gain of 1, 2 at best. So probably 4-down territory here for West Deptford. They'll probably continue to try to soften up the middle. And again, just when you think that's what's going to happen, they throw a jet sweep at you.
The jet sweep, or they go play action like they did this. Oreo only threw the ball 17 times all season, and they tried to pass on it in our opening drive here.
Third down, about 3. It's Sees finds a seam, and he'll be very close to the first down.
What they did there is they went tackles over, left the tight end down here to a guard and tight end, and went guard, tackle to that upside where toward the Cedar Creek sidelines, and try to get Sees in there on the power. Take a look here, right? Just so again, traditional wing tee power there, but the set is what's different, and you got to make sure Cedar Creek is identifying West Deptford's sets. West Deptford does a tremendous job of moving and displacing linemen as well as wideouts, putting 2 wideouts to his side as well, and moving around linemen, putting in a bonus lineman. So again, it creates an extra gap, and also where you're trying to set your run strength as well from defensively.
There you see Clyde Folsom, 11-0 on the season, 250, 71-5. He is 4th all-time in South Jersey. Started his career at Bishop Eustace, came over to West Deptford, and the rest, as they say, is history. So critical 4th down here in inches. Again, West Deptford prides itself on its line. They're going to need a push here and look for maybe Gismondi or Oreo to take it himself. It's Oreo, and he'll have more than enough.
That was kind of an interesting alignment there on Cedar Creek's part. It's quarterback sneak is coming. They left the left A gap wide open. In terms, I know they're a 50 front, and they have a nose guard there, but their backers were way off. Their defensive tackle to the right, that you can just see there was a natural hole there pre-snap, made it very easy for West Deptford to convert on that 4th down.
First down and 10 at the 21-yard line. West Deptford is rolling with 5:20 left in this first quarter. Oreo fakes the handoff and then goes around on his way. Touchdown!
That's kind of what I expected on that first 3rd down. That little counter play, which Sally played to the weak side there, Sees. All eyes went directly into the backfield. Nobody was home. Very well executed. That's a staple in West Deptford's offense. That inside reverse from the wing. So we like to raise that as Sally, but there's his 25th touchdown of the season.
So West Deptford strikes first on top, 6-0. Attempt the point after. The kick is up, and the kick is good.
Hit the upright, Rob.
No good.
Hit the top portion of the upright.
I missed it. Got a little.
So did he. Great start, though. You cannot, again, if you're Coach Folsom and his staff, you take a look here. Can you watch the right guard will kick out, and that's your tight end. That's your right tight end who's leading through the hole. He's up to the 2nd level to the safety. That's not a good formula for Cedar Creek. When your tight end is up to your safety, picking him off, and the lead really just paving a way for Seas.
Well, you can see that they are 6-time South Jersey Group 2 champions. 2012 was the last time. They had a streak of 3 in a row back in 2002 and 2004. They've made 12 sectional appearances. Again, a program that when Clyde took over, not very good. And it changed very quickly, and there's just a tremendous commitment now, not only by the players, but the community as a whole. When you go to West Deptford, they love their football now.
Oh, they sure do. It's always a neat atmosphere to play in. I know when our guys and our Haddonfield guys go there, we really enjoy playing in that atmosphere.
6-0, West Deptford on top, and a low line drive to be taken just inside the 10-yard line. Melton takes it at the 15, finds a seam. Melton explodes down the sideline. Melton still on his feet. He's got one man to beat. Melton on his way. But there's a penalty flag on the field.
Well, that's kind of what we talked about with Coach in Folsom in the pregame, putting together a drive, 10, 12 plays. In that case, it wasn't as many plays needed after the block punt. And then one play or 2 plays, quick strikes right afterwards.
Well, we'll see on this replay whether we can get a sense of where the hold took place, apparently just inside the 40-yard line. And obviously that's going to be a big play.
It is. That's obviously, that could have changed momentum drastically right back to Cedar Creek and kind of be a little bit deflating for West Deptford.
Have our officials talk it over. So apparently the hold took place at the 38-yard line. Let's take a look, see if we can spot this.
But sometimes the most dangerous times are when the ball is on the ground and contained. I didn't see a whole lot of hold there, maybe because his arms got outside the framework. But again, that's sometimes very dangerous when the ball's on the ground. Teams start to lose the contain.
Milza drops across the middle, caught. That ball probably should have been picked off, and you really have to credit Nazir Chapman for holding on to that football.
That's a drive concept. It's a shallow cross underneath it with the dig coming behind it. Very, very well covered. 2 West Deptford defenders there. Milza found a window. Credit him to finding that, and it's even better concentration there by Chapman.
Ball spotted at the 41-yard line. Cedar Creek trying to answer back. West Deptford off of the C's touchdown run leads 6-0. Milza out of the pistol, will hand off right up the gut. On his feet, Watson down the sideline and angles out of bounds. Watson with the big carry.
And I think that's somebody who's a very underrated player on this football team. You know, he's got 77 carries, 390 yards, but he's a physical presence. He's a big back. And if you look here, just an inside zone concept. Big hole there, great, very well blocked. Good job there by number 3, pulling his arms down. And that's Dom Simmons there, not holding the West Deptford DB to allow that big run to go.
28-yard line, 1st and 10. Cedar Creek has moved the ball exceptionally well on this drive. 2 big plays, the pass to Chapman, and now the run by Watson. Melton is in motion, and he gets the inside. Jet sweep, Melts outside. Melton cut down at about the 20.
That was the same play to hit him earlier with that influence pull going away. Just trying to see what these backers are. Honestly, if you're West Deptford, you're really not wearing a whole lot of focus on those backers at this point. When you got a guy like Bo Melton who's going to Rutgers, that's probably where your attention's going. You know, you can pull your guards all you want. Let's find number 16 and see where he is.
2nd down and short. Milza hands to Watson. Watson drives forward, and he'll have more than enough for the 1st down. Well, I've been impressed so far with Watson, as you mentioned. So many times we see these teams and they just have a huge player, but most of the time they have a complement to that huge player.
You have to. You have to have complementary parts. Again, it's the ultimate team game. And with all due respect, I'm a baseball guy myself. You can have a pitcher to go out and dominate a game and hit a solo shot, win 1-0. Mm-hmm. That's not usually the case in a football game where one guy completely can steal the show from you.
1st down and 10. Again, Milza and Cedar Creek marching after the penalty brought back the touchdown return. Milza has a man wide open. It's Watson. Watson cut down at about the 6 or 7 yard line. And again, I talk about the difference between this game. You know, Cedar Creek essentially runs a pro offense.
They do. It's variation of spread using multiple formations. Milza is asked to do a lot. He's asked to traditional 3-step drops, 5-step drops, crossing concepts, flat routes. He had to stare down the barrel of a gun right there. You know, when he's looking at pressure coming in his face, trusting that Isaiah is going to release to the flat, and then he saw the way Isaiah finished that run as well. So that's Isaiah's 19th reception of the year, you know, well over 430 yards now.
Melton now out of the Wildcat. So completely different look. High snap. Melton keeps it, and he's cut down at the 19-yard line.
You have to be so careful. I know that is in Cedar Creek's package. I get, you know, we've had a game plan them. There's something to be said when you have momentum. You just captured it back. Then you get a different voice in there. Throwing the snap count in there, even just the command of it. The snap's high. Whether you just need to be so careful with that.
They were very fortunate. If that ball doesn't bounce right up to Melton, that could go 6 the other direction.
And I know if you're Cedar Creek, you could say conversely, hey, that won us the semifinal game last year or quarterfinal game versus Collingswood, the Wildcat formation.
So Milza now on 2nd down and goal. 3-step drop, throws, has a man in the corner, it's caught! Touchdown! A beautiful pass by Milza.
They just needed more room to throw. That's all it was, all part of the grand scheme. The plan. Phenomenal trust. He threw that receiver open. I don't know if we're going to get that one on a replay, but that was a great corner route by Malachi Melton. He threw that ball well before that receiver, and we always saw our receivers in our cues, a receiver should never see the ball thrown. And in that case, he never did either. He just looked up and saw the ball in the air. Tremendous throw. If you talk to Cedar Creek, they probably want that ball a little bit more at the back pylon, but a great response.
Well, tied at 6, this extra point can make the difference. Moran's kick is up, and it is good. So Cedar Creek takes the lead, 7-6. We mentioned before that Moran is a weapon for this team at a 39-yard game winner in overtime against St. Joe's. Let's first talk about this throw.
It's perfect. You got yourself a flat combination with a hitch and a corner behind it. Malachi ran a route. If he goes to the back pylon, he makes his life a little bit easier where he doesn't have to tap dance and keep his feet in bounds there. But the number one thing is watching Mills throw that ball on time with trust and throwing his receiver open. You know, you also want to talk when he's throwing a football, you want to make sure. You know, some people say, what's the route? Let the direction of the ball determine my route. So I have to take it to the back pylon. So I have to get skinny. So I have to throw it on back shoulders. Great job there by Milza. Great throw, great execution. And it really wasn't bad coverage. He just put it in a really good spot.
Well, again, Cedar Creek, the difference, a point after. And it's just been fun watching championship football this weekend, Frank. I mean, again, just superior coaching, superior talent, and the difference between a championship is maybe 1 or 2 plays.
It's 1 or 2. It's refusing to exhale. You can't. You cannot take a play off. You exhale. No, if it's you exhale when you're on the bus with the trophy sitting next to you. You know, in the seatbelt, making sure it's secure on the way home.
1:44 left in this first quarter. Cedar Creek with the 1-point edge. They will kick off for the first time, and Moran will take care of it. A high kick. It's going to be returned, taken at about the 12-yard line. Sees with the football. Sees tries to exploit the middle, and good coverage. Stopped at about the 28-yard line. A little extracurriculars out there. 1st and 10, Eagles.
Tremendous coverage there. Good hang time. Thing when you look at Moran and his kicks, and that's so important. If you can get some height as well as distance, it just allows and obviously with the speed of Cedar Creek, it allows them to get down, to get into their run fits, you know, and get into their lanes.
We've had ourselves a great football game thus far. West Deptford with their worst field position of the day, now at their own 28-yard line. Right up the gut, and sees with about 2.
Again, that was West Deptford trying to put tackles here to our sidelines, the bottom of your screen. 3 tackles to the offensive right, 2 tackles to the offensive right with 3 linemen, and just left a guard and a tackle backside. See what Coach Watson, what adjustments he may have made after the first couple series, see how West Deptford's trying to attack.
There you see head coach Tim Watson looking on. 2nd down for the Eagles. The pitch, and defended exceptionally well. That's going to lose major yardage.
And that's one of the things when you're putting now McGuire, who's a really good tackle. But now you have him against Isaiah Watson. Now Isaiah, from an athletic standpoint, probably is a little bit quicker. You're asking him now to kind of reach him and kind of get his own block there. Well, Isaiah won that battle.
One of the keys that head coach Tim Watson said is we've got to put the Eagles in 3rd and long. They're not a throwing team. This is exactly where they want them.
Won't be surprised they come back to that inside reverse there with they scored a touchdown on.
So head coach Clyde Folsom doesn't like what he sees. 17 seconds left. He's going to call timeout. Again, you know, one thing to keep in mind, I know they're not a throwing football team, but at least they have the wind here. Does that play into your decision making?
It would if it was me, but knowing that, again, they threw the ball a total this year of 32 times, or 16 to 32 on the season. You have to run what is best for your offense in this particular point. What do you run best? What do you hang your hat on? How many times has coach, repped out waggle pass this week? How many more did they run more counter crisscross plays. They more that Sally, with that wing back reverse. For those at home saying, what's Sally? It's that, for the wing back coming back underneath around the formation. What do you hang your hat on in this situation? Also, in these situations, West Deptford may come back with a little bit of a screen action. So it's one of those things. It's what have you done best, and what have you practiced the most? And here they're going to try to spread out the formation a little bit as well.
3rd down and 10. Oreo sprints, fakes the throw, tucks it under, and he'll be stopped after a gain of about 3.
They try to detach 2 wide
receivers.
Little
RPO there.
You're going to see an RPO later by Cedar Creek. well played, partner. That was just a straight sprint out. You're right, and he had to tuck it here.
We'll step away through 1. Cedar Creek on top, 7-6. Your Atlantic City Electric game of the week. We're back, and the wind will play a role as this punt will only travel a total of 4 yards. Again, we talked about it before, how important the wind is. We said that the wind was less of a factor, and it has picked up considerably since the start of the first quarter.
It has, and for maybe those who are watching the 2 previous games that we've had, we've now seen 3 punts go a total of 6 yards.
That's correct.
This weekend.
It's amazing.
The wind plays a crazy direction, plays a havoc on punters, especially going on the screen from the right to left on your TV screen.
Empty backfield here for Milza, running the spread offense. Trips right, and now in motion, it's Watson. Milza with pressure, he's sacked. Milza is sacked. A big defensive stop here. And again, West Deptford.
That's a big-time play by Nick Novak right there, off the edge. He did a really nice job beating the left tackle of Cedar Creek, just with speed. It was a speed rush right there. That's one of the things you have to realize. When you're going to release 5 receivers into the pack, you're going with 5-man protection. And that could be an issue throughout the rest of the game.
Novak, one of the many senior leaders on this football team. Melton on the jet sweep. And he'll pick up a few, still not yet back to the original line of scrimmage.
Rob, be careful. They could be setting up here a jet pass at some point. If you remember last year in this game, a toss pass and a quarterback throwback won the game for Cedar Creek back on a 2-point conversion. They've run this a significant amount of times. You just have to watch. Corners for West Deptford have to stay very disciplined. Safety's got to stay disciplined as well to make sure that he's going to, because Bo will throw it, and he has the ability to do so.
3rd down and 13. Again, likely 4-down territory for Cedar Creek. Milza directing traffic. 2-step drop, throws over the middle, tipped up, intercepted, and cut down at the 28-yard line. Milza tried to force that, and he paid for it. Nick Novak has been a force.
He has been. He's made a great play earlier on the 3rd down play to Isaiah Watson in coverage. Big-time sack there, and then a great pick on a deflected ball. Milza locked in. He was one route there. He was throwing the dig route to Melton. There didn't even need to be at right side of the football field on that particular play. It was a 1-man route, and if you look what West Deptford did, they walked off the DN to jam Melton and not to give him a free release, and that kid had the pick.
Handoff, still on his feet is Seas, and Seas very close to the 1st down. When you game plan for Seas, what are your thoughts?
You know what? He's obviously a very talented back, as you can see here. There's a gigantic hole there. Very well done, very well executed. Seas is dangerous, but they have a 3-headed monster back there, and you have to focus your attention equally on all of them.
2nd and 1. Oreo hands off, and more than enough for the 1st down by Gismondi. And again, the sense of momentum after that 4-yard punt. Cedar Creek really felt like they had momentum. Novak comes in, big stop, and now West Everett kind of feeding off of that momentum.
It is, and that was a nice first down now. That's what you needed to try to keep the momentum on your side here.
1st and 10, and this one's going nowhere.
Right, that was the same exact play they scored the touchdown on. It was obviously very well defended this time. Creating piles at the point of attack, getting as many hats there as you can, and constricting holes is definitely important.
Well, you mentioned a 3-headed monster there. You had an opportunity to see just one of those, and Ken Lim sees Gismondi. Very tough to stop in this wing T offense. Oreo sprints to his right, has room, now tucks it under, finds a seam, and he's cut down very close to a first down.
He is, and they might come back to that one because number 21, Ken Lin, is wide open on the wheel route on the back side of this. And that's Oreo, if you take a look here, good job on the waggle. He gets pressure, so he's got to duck underneath this, which he does. Great job sticking his foot in the ground and getting north. He had 38 carries for 160 yards on the season, and now that puts West Deptford in a very manageable situation. Probably gives Monday time here.
Well, Cedar Creek had a big stop on first down, but a 9-yard gain, and now it's just 3rd down and 1, and more than enough for the first down. West Deptford 42-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
That's where West Deptford wants to live, 3rd and 1. Gives them so many options, whether it be Gismondi, whether it be C's. That's ideal script for Coach Folsom.
1st and 10. Maybe 2.
It's an inside trap there. There's a lot of eyes right now on Gismondi. There's no doubt. You see a lot of attention in there. Cedar Creek has done a really good job so far in this game, neutralizing trap. Then you have to pick your poison, so to speak. What are we going to put our focus on? And I think that's what always is the challenge when playing a West Deptford team.
2nd down, we'll call it 8. Clock continues to move. 7-6. Handoff, breaking tackles, and sees, illustrating just how tough a runner he is.
He is, that's buck sweep. There's a lot of bodies leading C's out, and he just needs a little bit of crease. You take a look, he puts his foot in the ground, 90-degree cut. Now he gets up to the 2nd level, and when safeties are making plays and we're sitting here announcing Isaiah Chapman on another tackle, that's a perfect recipe, good formula for the Eagles.
Clyde Folsom talks about C's, how he's humble, he's unselfish. Probably a 1AA player. Monmouth has shown some interest. 1st down and 10. And the handoff again to Gismondi, and just not much room there. And now we have a late flag. We'll see what this is all about. Cedar Creek says it's going against West Deptford. Coming up, and
West Deptford saying it's on Cedar Creek. No, I'm just kidding.
Coming up from that pile, big Owen Bowles. We haven't really spoken much about him. Bowles is a kid who kind of gets lost in the talk of Bo Melton in this offense. And Bowles is on his way to Rutgers University with Bo Melton. Unsportsmanlike against West Deptford. Very uncharacteristic of this football team.
Sure it is. If you take a look back here at this replay, trying to find where it may be. Right there, maybe possibly on McGuire with the late shove. It's a big penalty right there because you're in great spot. You're knocking on the red zone, knocking on the door of the red zone.
So they're saying it's still now.
Now
it's 2nd down. I was going to say they had them marked as 1st down. It is 2nd down. 2nd down and a lot inside, and just not a whole lot there for C's.
A really nice job there. Again, that went right back to the play that they scored a touchdown on. That's Isaiah Campbell making a real nice stop there from his backer position.
So it's 3rd down here. You have a team that doesn't throw much, and they're throwing into a harsh wind. Do you run the ball and just take your lumps, punt it away, or do you say, hey, let's roll the dice?
They're probably going to play field position or expect maybe a screen down here.
3rd down, clock now inside of 6 minutes remaining. And we saw yesterday how penalties can really change the complexion of a series and ultimately a football game. Oreo back to pass, throws it up, has a man open! It's caught! It is caught at the 10-yard line. Poor coverage as the ball hung up there, and a fine play made as West Deptford able to come away with the big first down.
Baglivo, who was a quarterback early in the season. This is a totally different formation right now. So they went twins basically, twins to one side, wing on the other. That's an alert to Cedar Creek that something different is happening. It's 3rd and 30, whatever it was. Got to get your guys up and cover your areas.
The pitch has the edge towards the corner and shy of the end zone. C's continuing to illustrate that speed and that toughness.
Oh, he's a tough back, no doubt about it. You give him a little bit of an edge or not, he can try to make his own. Just a basic toss, and he gets to the edge nicely, and then he comes up maybe about 2 yards short of the goal line. Keep in mind, West Deptford can still get a first down.
Ball spotted at the 3. 2nd down. Gismondi met in the backfield, still driving, and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
West Deptford went double tight there, tried to create some illusion of maybe jet sweep with the motion there, and try to get Gismondi up in there. Cedar Creek was right there.
Folsom will talk it over with Pete Oreo. Oreo, as we mentioned, a football coach's son. You have to like that.
His dad's now on staff here at West Deptford as well, so I'm sure he's enjoying seeing his son playing in a final.
3rd down. Lim knocked down. He's going to be shy of the first down. And now it's decision time for Clyde Folsom and the Eagles.
Remember, a first down is still a possibility. So you're 4th and 2. You're down 7-6. I think there's something about playing with the lead. I do. But then you can also justify making a team try to go 97 yards on you.
You know, I think that if Moran was not a weapon for Cedar Creek, you take the field goal and go. But Moran is such a weapon. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. I think this is the right call. Oreo runs it in. Again, as you mentioned, Frank, they can still get a first down. Oreo keeps, rolls out. Oreo, can he get to the edge? He can. Touchdown! Yes, touchdown! Well, they gave Oreo an opportunity to throw it or keep it. He tucked it under, found an angle, dove, and West Deptford on top.
Nice, good play call there. It's a play action, little waggle concept in there. Oreo tucked that thing and tried to find a near pylon.
Bilodeau kicks it up, and it's good. Bilodeau gives West Deptford the 6-point edge. I have an opportunity to take a look at this touchdown. Oreo has been impressive here early.
You know what? That throws a beautiful ball on 3rd down and long. Take a look here. He's got his eye. He's trying to scan the field. Doesn't see anything. You prefer him to put that ball in the other hand, keep it away from that defender right there, Melton, but just finds him enough space to get across the line.
Clyde Folsom very pleased with what he's seen, particularly on a drive that was 3rd and forever. A big, big pass by Oreo, finding Baglivo.
And it was ideal script for Cedar Creek. Get them in 3rd and long.
Yep.
And again, the formation dictated something different than their norm.
Now, we talked before, Cedar Creek, very dangerous on special teams. You're not going to be able to kick it in the end zone with this win. So do you squib kick it, or you just try to kick it high and roll the dice? What are we doing?
You need to find a kid on the field that's not dangerous. And that kid is probably number 56 on the sidelines right now. But
Short kick taken at the 38-yard line and going in the wrong direction. He'll lose a couple yards. That's number 11, Michael Gulick.
He's got to get north, because at that point, West Deptford was relying on giving the ball at the 40-yard line. They were good with that. They were saying, here, take the ball at the 40 and drive 60. Now, again, it's only a 3-yard difference, but get north, get where you can. You're not going to outrun West Deptford from that distance.
First down and 10 for the Pirates. They have not had great field position throughout the afternoon. This is good. 38-yard line with the wind to their back. They trail by 6 with 3:35 left. Plenty of time as Milza likes to throw the football. Milza throws, has a man out in the flat. Across the 40 now towards midfield, and Watson will be slung out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. Wide open, a coverage breakdown.
It is, and we experienced the same type of thing when we were playing Cedar Creek, because your attention right there on your 4 wides, and they're pressing you vertical, and you have to, as you look there at Mills' stats, again, he's over 2,000 yards for the year and 20 touchdowns, make it 21 after his one earlier today. But your focus is on the deep ball, the drive routes, the post, the go routes, and now you get Watson slipping out. It's a tough matchup. 2 backs and Melton now is out. I'm sorry, so you're back to your single setback.
Trips right for Milza and the Pirates. Melton in motion. Melton with the jet sweep, cuts it inside. Melton on his feet and falls forward to about the 41-yard line.
Again, they try to put formation. They put formation to the boundary, influence the guards away from it. Melton there, I thought if he could stick his foot in the ground, there was an explosion piece there. I thought that was kind of missing on that than he showed earlier in the game. You can't imagine if fatigue's an issue at this point. The state championship's on the line here.
Melton has been banged up, although he's at his healthiest all season long. Second down, we'll call it 5. Clock continues to move with 2:49 remaining. Milza out of the shotgun with time. Has a man, and it's picked off. Picked off at the 30-yard line. Well, Milza has tried to force the ball previously, and this time again, it is picked off.
That's Gismondi there again. He's such a, we talk about him being the heartbeat of this football team. That's a big pick for him. Milza gets locked in. He's locked in on one side of the field right now. I don't know, maybe they're all one-man routes, but Gio steps underneath the route and does a really nice job. Also, pre-snap alignment, you got Novak, Jam, and Melton, to the boundary there, providing some help there. Well done by West Deptford.
Chapman was wide open underneath, did not spot him, instead forced it in another turnover here. Gismondi with a gain of about 1. Milza has 2 interceptions. He could have easily had 3 as the ball was dropped on a prior series.
And then one went through 2 backers' hands, for a catch, the dig route. So Milza's got to settle down. But I think as Coach Watson and the run game hasn't hurt them. Isaiah, is puncturing the team on inside zone. Well, maybe go back that nice safe throw instead of all the crossing routes. But if you get the ball back, time might not allow in this half. Got to get the run game going.
And again, not much there for West Deptford. Bo Melton on the tackle as Seas gets back maybe an additional yard. Second down and long, and now it looks like there's going to be a timeout called by Cedar Creek with 1:50 left. Well, again, we've seen teams like Delsey as an example who really rely on the run, and West Deptford traditionally rely on the run. Cedar Creek does not. You have the wind to your back. If they can stop West Deptford here, we saw the last punt went 4 yards.
Correct.
They got a good chance of getting this ball on the other side of midfield. 2 minutes is plenty of time, or 1.5 minutes is plenty of time for this offense.
It is. Time is not a factor based upon, where they get the ball and location. But obviously there's got to be some urgency, and hopefully Milza can settle down.
Here you take a look at their offense and points allowed throughout the season. And again, not surprisingly, both of these teams very stingy defensively. West Deptford averaging 400 yards rushing on per game. I don't know that they're going to eclipse that mark today. Cedar Creek, led by Owen Bowles on the defensive line, and the athleticism that they've displayed in the back, the defensive backs with Melton and Chapman and so on. I don't know they're going to get 399 yards today. It'll end around again. Seas cuts it inside. Seas bounces off the first tackler, Gulig, and he's going to be shy of the first down. So it's decision time here for Clyde Folsom. Now you say, well, they're in their own territory, but with this win, how many yards are you going to get on the punt?
That's fair. And Cedar Creek just wasted a few valuable seconds in calling a timeout. I think there was a little bit of indecisiveness. Hey, what do we want to do here? But that's a tough, hard-nosed run there. Seas lowers his shoulder in an effort to pick up one more yard and a half there. Rob, I think it's what you need to do is you need to punt the ball. What I also wouldn't be surprised if West Deptford comes out. We had this conversation last night about no play. And just trying to draw Cedar Creek off sides, which is a good possibility, and then burn your own timeout and then punt it away.
The great thing about, if you call it a great thing, the one thing about high school football is that if you draw them off sides, they don't have a chance to get back. Once you breach the neutral zone, it's a penalty.
Correct. And now if you take a look, again, once Cedar Creek gets the ball back, Cedar Creek has thrown for over 2,100 yards this year, and West Deptford, only on 32 attempts, has thrown for 252. So yeah, they have the punt unit here. Don't be surprised if there's a shutdown where all the linemen are going to snap to the ground to try to draw them off sides. Like that.
Punt is away. It's a good one. It's high, and it will bounce and take a Cedar Creek roll back to the 30-yard line. So Folsom plays it conservatively. Nobody fields the punt there. A little surprising.
Yes, it's exactly what you kind of thought. See if we can get them off sides. A little shutdown. See if Cedar Creek was going to jump. Somebody's got to take control back there. You know, whether it's Melton or whether it's Chapman, somebody's got to take control of that and catch that punt. It was plenty of hang time. You didn't need to be 50 yards from the line of scrimmage there. The wind's not going to allow that punt to go. So move up, catch the ball, and it also gives you another offensive play with 16 having the ball in his hands.
What I've seen thus far from Milza is he tends to kind of force things down the field. He has a lot open underneath, and if they can just be conservative, they can march the football down the field. Milza, quick drop, locks in, goes deep, and knocked away. We just talked about how he has a tendency to force the ball deep. That was not one of the receivers who was open.
No, I think that one is kind of predetermined. Let's see if we can get our best kid on a good matchup. But if you're watching what West Deptford is doing to the 3x1 set, they're not letting Bo get a free release. And why would you?
Yeah.
You can't. The kid is too good. And so therefore Novak, who has had a tremendous first half here, making plenty of big plays here defensively, is jamming him up, not allowing that release to happen, which is throwing off timing of routes.
Second down and 10. Jet sweep towards the sideline, and it's Malachi Melton. He would have been better off running out of bounds to save some clock as the clock continues to move. Now they're in third and long territory. They're going to have to hustle.
They are. This is one of those plays as a coach. You have to make a decision. Are we in tack mode or are we not?
West Deptford with 2 timeouts remaining. 45 seconds left for Milza and the Pirates. Milza throws, has a man wide open. It's Melton. Melton down the sideline, and Melton with some soft coverage able to take advantage. First down, Pirates.
Malachi Melton's going to be pretty good too. He's only a freshman. He's had a couple catches today. That's a big third down conversion. Look, he steps foot, great delivery here, puts it right on time to the sidelines. That was a rhythm throw that he needed big time. There's 37 seconds left. I believe there's 1 timeout left in the Cedar Creek. They burned 2 on the last to try to get the ball back, and that was their first third down conversion of the afternoon.
First and 10 from the 49, 37 seconds left. Again, Milza, deep drop, throws over the middle, has his man, it's a first down, it's Chapman. Chapman still on his feet and cut down. Clock will stop because of the first down. Garrison able to bring down Chapman. 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Milza will quickly get the snap away here as they try to get their offense set. Milza gets pressure, throws, has him. And cutting back inside, it's Melton. He'll be stopped at the 25, and they'll call timeout. 15 seconds left. We mentioned that Moran is a weapon for this Cedar Creek team.
Moran is good. He's hit a game winner in double overtime against St. Joe. He had a big field goal against us early in the season as well. You look again, these are good rhythm throws. Watch his feet, watch his mechanics. He's getting in there. And it also looks like he's scanning a little bit. He's not locked in right now. So maybe, again, the coaches were predetermined, like, let's get Bo a shot. If you just, I think, let Milza scan the field, let him do what he does, I think everything is going to be okay. You have 15 seconds now. This is plays from a coaching standpoint. You have no timeouts. You have to be calling multiple plays here. We'll be ready to clock it. From an offensive standpoint, coaches are also reminding, hey, get off the pile, right? Make sure you get the ball back to the official, because the last thing you want is to run out of time with your kicker sitting on the sidelines.
Well, again, that is the problem here. 15 seconds left. If you run a play, you fumble the football or bad snap, don't get out of bounds, you're not going to have another opportunity. Right now, we're looking at about a 43-yard field goal attempt, and Moran has enough leg, particularly with the wind to his back.
Plenty of leg. What you have to be cautious of here is a designed route that is meant to be 5-yard quick out to the sidelines, and a seam route getting you because you're worrying about trying to defend sidelines. Give them the 5 yards. Give them the 5. Don't give them the 25-yard touchdown.
Empty backfield for Milza. Malachi Melton in motion. Deep drop, throws, and he's hit when he throws. That's going to fall incomplete. Well, 11 seconds left. Again, the question is, when do you bring out Moran? They're going to run another play.
They're going to go one more play, try to get a quick out up there, and try to move the sticks, get a little bit closer. Tremendous play there by James Young as well as Elijah Pratt, getting in there and causing some major havoc in the Cedar Creek backfield.
He had a man open there, but again, it was the West Deptford pressure that denied Milza and the Pirates.
Now you have a hitch up top right now. If you want to take a 4 or 5 yard throw that's safe, take it. And it makes it a little bit closer of a kick, even down here.
Milza gets pressure, throws, and that was almost picked off.
And that would have been worst case scenario if that ball was caught, because he was not getting himself out of bounds. There was 2 West Deptford defenders right there, and they would have run out of time there. So best case was the incomplete pass. Give Moran a shot to cut into the lead going into the half.
Well, we mentioned before that Pat Moran is a weapon. 39-yard game winner in overtime against St. Joe's, a 28-yarder at the end of regulation to win the game against Haddonfield, and field goals of 37 and 35 in the semifinal win over Willingboro.
Thanks, Rob. Appreciate that.
Not a problem. This is going to be 42 yards, just in case you forgot. Kick is up, and this is not going to make it. Well left. And now 2 seconds remain in this half. So Moran has had a punt blocked, and now shanked one to the left. But again, they have the utmost confidence in that young man. You know, ironically, head coach Tim Watson said, you've probably never heard this before, but our kicker is the hardest worker on this football team.
He is, and he had a mutual friend of one of our players, which was also a kicker, and Drew Tomlinson said the same exact thing, about what a great kid he is, how hard he works, and they actually kicked together in the offseason. It's a credit to that young man.
Oreo takes a knee, and that will do it for a great first half of football. West Deptford will head to the locker room up by 6. Your Group 2 South Jersey Championship game brought to you by Atlantic City Electric. West Deptford on top 13-7. Welcome back to Rowan University. Richard Wacker Field, West Deptford in the Group 2 championship game, leading Cedar Creek 13-7. Here on the GCN, Rob Christ along with my partner Frank DeLano bringing you the Atlantic City Electric Game of the Week. West Deptford won the toss in the first half. They deferred, and now they will receive in the second half. They will have the wind to their back to start things. An interesting decision.
Ball just fell off the tee, so the wind is still swirling out there. So this second half kickoff is going to be interesting already. There's a lot of chess matches here that I'm intrigued to see about what the second half has. I think Cedar Creek has to try to establish the run and get Isaiah Watson back in the game a little bit, and then also it'll kind of calm Mills it down. West Deptford kind of just has to continue the course. They're playing pretty well, and it's the second half, obviously, I think it'll be a little bit most of the same, ground and pound.
Moran will kick it away. A high kick once again to be taken just at the 10-yard line. And the return out to about the 27 to 28-yard line. They're saying the ball is loose. Cedar Creek is arguing that the ball came loose, but simply not the case. 1st and 10 for West Deptford.
Great play there by Isaiah Campbell. It's not really a perfect remedy to go around the wedge. No, that's the last thing you really want to do is create that seam there, but he did a nice job. Broke his feet down, made a nice play on C's.
I think one of the stories in the first half, Frank, has been the efficacy of Pete Orio at quarterback.
No doubt, big completion. Nice job on that touchdown, left 4th down.
Pitch outside, still on his feet. Still on his feet is Gismondi, and that is textbook Gio Gismondi.
Sure is. That's what we've had to watch at Haddonfield for a long, long time. You know, for the last three seasons watching that. That was just a basic toss. But when he runs with a purpose. He's a powerful runner. They used the field here in terms of move that wide out, created just a natural running lane. So basically, this is a little slot with his strong backs and nice little fullback toss. Easy, safe play, yet very effective.
Isaiah Campbell thought he had him down, and Gio Gismondi is showing some of that ferocity and balance, and there you see it again. He's never down until you're 100% sure. He's almost replicated that same effort on that run.
2nd down and 7.
It's a good start here for West Deptford. Once again, establishing their run. Now also trying to get Gio going a little bit here in the second half. Got to watch C's here.
C's gets the football on the inside reverse. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage at most.
Yeah, just trying to put themselves into sequential plays. Trying to get your flow going to the bench, and then try to expose you now. Maybe you're sliding yourself over to that set, and then try to gash you to the field.
It'll be interesting to see here. Orio, as we mentioned, that big completion previously, but now throwing into the wind, a team that typically does not like to throw the ball very much. Orio will sprint to his right. A lot of room for Orio, and he'll have more than enough for the first down.
That is a designed quarterback run. There wasn't a receiver downfield. They're just attacking this weak side of the Cedar Creek defense. That thing was in his hand. Both guards are leading around. He tucks this thing down right now. He knows this isn't a pass option even in there. It's tuck the ball under your arm and find real estate and get the first down.
Well, it's funny, Cedar Creek said they need to put these Eagles in 3rd and long, but they have come up big in many situations, 3rd and long. Gismondi stopped at the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10.
It's a real nice play there by Morales. Just puncturing the D, trying to play some chase and actually get Gismondi before he got started there.
Morales, a junior. This is a team that Coach Tim Watson said has tremendous team chemistry, maybe the best in his years at Cedar Creek. 2nd down and 10. Gismondi right up the middle. And a big pickup of 6, 3rd down and 4. And that's kind of where you want to be if you're West Deptford, in those makeable 3rd downs, and again, probably in 4-down territory here.
Sure you are. And that's Gismondi on a little quick hit and trap. All he needs is a small crease, and he could take it to the house here.
Nundy in the backfield for Oreo. It's going to be Seas. Seas with no room. Seas is caught in the backfield. A loss of 2, and now maybe a little bit more of a decision to be made.
Avery Cruz makes a nice play here. Again, they're trying to utilize that, make it look like they're giving the ball to Gio on a fullback belly, and then counter it with the Seas coming around the edge. Avery Cruz, great job staying home.
3rd down and 4. They make a couple yards. They're probably going for it on 4th down. Now it's a 4th down and 6. Punt it away. Your defense has done a nice job. You've come up with some interceptions against Milza. Make him force the football into this win.
Correct. And here's the important thing. Cedar Creek's got to field the football. You know, they've let every punt hit the ground today.
Ball taken at the 10-yard line. And a return of 6 or 7. So once again, Cedar Creek will be deep in their own end to start a drive. We've seen that throughout the afternoon.
Cedar Creek, again, Rob, I think it's critical that they establish the run game here. Watson, it was effective. He had a big run on an inside zone play, 30-plus yard carry on there. Let's take some of the pressure right now off Mills. Mills.
West Deptford coming off of the semifinals, shut out Collingswood 30-0. Cedar Creek, a barn burner over Willingboro by 1. Handoff up the middle, nothing there.
It was a nice play by Garrison, sniffing that out. Again, I don't think it's a bad call. Trying to, again, establish Watson, get him back going in the game here. Take a look here. That motion really isn't faking anybody at that point. There's not even, the ball doesn't even go into his belly. It's just more trying to create the illusion of something's happening, and a little inside zone. Garrison, great job sniffing that out.
2nd down and 10. Milza rolls, throws, looks for Melton, falls incomplete.
West Deptford did a nice job flushing him out of the pocket. Now Mills has got to attack the line of scrimmage. He threw that ball going east and west, and that's why the ball is going to sail on him. If he gets downhill, follows his throw right to his target, that ball is going to be an 8-yard completion and put yourself in a 3rd and 2, opposed to now 3rd and 10.
There you see 15 and 16. Those are the Melton brothers. The senior Bo on his way to Rutgers, and Malachi has certainly illustrated that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in years to come, just a freshman. Clyde Folsom said the #1 key to this game is winning the turnover battle. They have done that. 2 interceptions already against Milza. They're looking for number 3 right here. 3rd down and long for Milza. Deep drop, throws across, and had Melton underneath. That probably would have resulted in a 1st down, actually. A lot of space there for Melton. Ball just thrown a little bit behind him.
In fact, there's a lot of real estate there. He had that whole sidelines. What they did is they motioned over to quads. There was 4 receivers to one side. Mills does a nice job with his eyes. Does a nice job, but he just see that front step there? He just short-footed it, so to speak. Didn't extend a little and kind of threw across his body to put the ball on his back shoulder, which wasn't good.
I think he was a hair late on that too, because it didn't give Melton a lot of room to operate. Here's Moran, punts it. It's high, but it's bouncing backwards, and again, that punt is going to result in about 12-yard difference.
And that one wasn't really even into a strong wind. The flag is kind of still at this point. The flags on the uprights are still just missed it. At that point, he barely punted for the 1st down, and you could not write the script any better right now if you're an Eagles fan.
6:50 left in this 3rd quarter. There you take a look at the wind dying down here at Rowan University. A tremendous crowd on hand once again. I was commenting earlier before the game started to my partner Frank that a lot of times these small towns just come out in much bigger numbers, and we see that today. Again, a loss of yards here, and Cedar Creek's defense has tightened up considerably. You had said that Cedar Creek really needs to play better defense. We've seen that thus far.
Also, absolutely did. And Bo Melton just does a nice job running through Seas' block. Seas is trying to pin him and set the edge. Just didn't give any room for Lim on the jet sweep there. Once again, West Deptford utilizing formations. That was a tight end to the strong side as well as the wide receiver over here to widen that corner to create space.
Any thought of a play action here?
I'll tell you in a second, partner. Yep.
Here's Oreo. He keeps. This time he's going to be in trouble. Oreo dropped for a loss of another 4 yards.
He is. And, they ran that play on the first third down of the game. Jet motion, fake the jet, try to hit the big tight end, Jason Collier, down the seam. He didn't get a free release. If you look, he had it, and now Oreo's got to burp the ball. His eyes have to go down to the rush here and just try to live to see another down. Good job there with ball security because you had Watson, you had Campbell, you had all the boys coming to rally around you.
They gave him a good spot up to the 33-yard line. 3rd down and 14 now for Oreo and the Eagles. Sees. Play actions across the middle. Touchdown! Kenny Lim wide open, and Oreo let him run underneath the football. Cedar Creek bites on the fake, and West Deptford extends their lead.
Staying disciplined, right? Just stay deep. It's 3rd down and long, right? You want to give them a 5-yard hitch. Go ahead, get your eyes out of the backfield and read your keys. That was a vertical right down the seam.
Again, as a defense, you have to think past there, 3rd and long. You have to.
You do. And also, there's. We'll talk about it more after this kick.
Low snap, and the kick is blocked. So one thing that hasn't gone well for West Deptford is the kicking game via the extra points. Nonetheless, West Deptford still holds a 12-point edge. Here's the throw.
And if you look at it, right, you have everybody. That's Melton. That's also their corner, also peeking in there. You have to stay disciplined in that situation. You do know that their inside counterplay has gashed you. You have to make sure you're softening up a little bit, getting your, again, eyes out of the backfield, read your keys, as we take a peek here there at the interior pressure there of Cedar Creek, blocking that PAT. Also, the formation was different. The fullback's placement was different. The shotgun snap was a little bit different. So it looked different, just like they did on that 3rd down play when they came out in twins, 2 receivers. That's not typically what a West Deptford team does. So you just have to soften yourself up. And they have enough speed to react on it, but not when a guy you're sitting there and you're frozen in mud, and you have Lim, who's very capable, good hands, very fast kid, going down a seam on it.
Well, Oreo made a very nice throw, and Lim, give him a lot of credit. That's not an easy catch to make, over the shoulder.
You're right. Beautiful throw, and that's Oreo's 4th touchdown pass of the year. Now he's having a heck of a day here today.
High kick, and this will find its way into the end zone. So Cedar Creek has not had great field position all day. Once again, they'll start at their own 20-yard line. And, if you're Cedar Creek, you're only 2 scores away. You got to settle down the troops a little bit. They just seem a little bit out of sorts.
They are. There's no doubt they're out of sorts. Even in that situation, that the kicker's pretty good, right? He's got a good foot. You have the wind at your back. Why are we on the 15-yard line?
Yeah.
Again, you have 2 dangerous returners. Get yourself back, and you want that football in your hand because your chances of starting beyond the 20 are really good.
Yep. 1st and 10, Milza, 3 receiver set. With time, throws across the middle, and nice catch by Melton. Triple coverage, credit Milza as he threw a strike.
He sure did, and he had to, because there's only really one place he could throw that. It had to be up a little bit, elevate the throw, and keep it away 2 defenders. So that play was pretty well covered too. You're sitting here, you watch him, and he's clearly surveying now, trying to find it, puts the ball right where Melton can go up and get it. And if you look, there's 4 Eagles right around him.
I tell you what, you have to be impressed with the hands of Melton as well. He's done a nice job. We'll talk about his athleticism. He's come to the sideline now, and looks like he's favoring one of his legs. That's something to keep an eye on. 1st down and 10 for the Pirates. And now they're saying delay a game.
There's a little confusion when Bo was hurt. That's why it's important when guys are banged up.
Just go down.
Just go down. It gives everybody a chance to regroup, get your subs in.
There you take a look at our officials today. Joe Shaw, the head referee, and the rest of the lineup. They're on your screen. So it's 1st down and 15 now. Milza hands it off, a big hole, wide open, a nice pickup, very close to a 1st down for Kamal Reed.
Kamal Reed is a very dangerous back. We had to watch him on film, and we obviously playing against him earlier in the season. He's good. He's explosive. He's a really good football player. That's just an inside zone concept. He punctured the D. There wasn't any dance in there. And one thing with inside zone, you got to be very patient. He's slow to the hole and then explode through.
Nick Novak on the tackle. 2nd down, we'll call it 1. A pickup of 14 yards for Reed. It looks like Bo Melton is back in the game, so whatever the nature of the injury, it was minor, and that's good to see. 3 receivers set for Milza. And a little double reverse. Melton will have enough for the 1st down, and that was a little dicey.
It was. It was a handoff. It's a pitch, all in close quarters. Ultimately, at the end of the play, you're trying to get your best player the ball. And you got Milza out there trying to throw a block. He does. You have Malachi Melton trying to block for his brother. End result, 1st down. Pirates trying to get a little something going here.
Milza gets the play from the sideline and rushes now out of the shotgun. He'll hand it right up the gut into the secondary. And Watson with a big pickup. They are shredding this West Deptford defense via the run. That rarely happens.
No, but that's kind of what happened a little bit in the 1st half. And I think then all of a sudden he wanted to go away from it. Great little fold block in there. The guard kicks out, and the tackle wraps up underneath it, paving a gigantic hole for Isaiah Watson.
1st and 10. Cedar Creek started the drive at their own 20-yard line. Melton in motion. Gets the handoff. Looks to bust it outside, and he is held up and stopped.
Brought down. By Baglavo after a
So Baglavo, who had that big reception earlier in the game offensively, comes up with the big stop against Melton. Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. Clock continues to move. We are now inside of 3 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter.
Got to start looking at the body language here, Cedar Creek. Get out of the huddle. You start pressing. You don't have to press, but you have to attack the line of scrimmage. So play this game to win, because there's still a lot of football left.
Milton split wide left. And the handoff inside to Watson. Watson right up the middle and really using Melton as a decoy.
It's the same exact play that they just came back to. Again, the guard kicks out, tackle folds underneath it. It's perfect. Very well executed. You're 5 yards before point of attack. Garrison makes a really good play there, fighting off the tackle and then trying to bring down a very big bodied back.
3rd down and 3, 4-down territory as Cedar Creek continues to penetrate this West Deptford defense. Milza, empty backfield. Here comes Melton. Milza, direct snap, throws, has a man underneath. That'll be enough for the 1st time. Angling, it's Melton. Melton, touchdown!
That was the play that they came right back to from the last 3rd down, where he was just behind them. The only thing they did was flip-flop the formation, and this time he had them coming from their sidelines across the field. It's a simple, basic crossing route with a clear out.
Clyde Folsom said, I'm a little concerned because our team does not tackle well in space. There's an indication of it.
Well, Coach can't be. He's not the only one that's missed Bo Melton this year.
Yeah, that's
and over the last couple of years, So it's one of those deals that's a really good football player in space, and he's made a lot of guys miss, and he will continue to do so at the next level.
Moran on to attempt the point after. His kick is up, and his kick is no good. Moran misses it right.
You haven't seen that. You haven't seen that at all this year. Missed extra points, missed field goals. There's 4 points left up on the board right now. This could be a 19-17 game. But you know what? This kid can't hang his head. He can still be the difference in his game. Last year, West Deptford had the lead in the fourth quarter. Again, you go back to the screen. Now he's just outrunning people. He makes one guy miss right here. He sticks his foot in the ground, gets north, makes Lim miss. And then McEwen at the end just puts a last-ditch effort. But at that point, he was just about in the end zone. So it's a good play. It's a well-designed play. Getting 4 receivers to one side and bringing one back underneath, causing a clear-out concept to then get the ball. Basically, it's an extended run play. It's a 3-yard, 4-yard throw and let 16 go in space.
Again, you get a look at the phenomenal crowd on hand. We mentioned before that West Deptford really loves their football. Cedar Creek with a tremendous crowd on hand as well. The bleachers full on the opposing side. Great venue here at Rowan University, and it's just great to see so many people coming out to watch football. Many people are here just to watch great football.
Sure. And I guess that's one of the advantages to when this was moved here, I believe in 2011. You can come in 11 o'clock, watch 2 games today. You came in 11 o'clock yesterday, watch 3 championship games. So it provides a really great atmosphere.
Moran to kick it away. And a wobbler taken at about the 12-yard line. Gismondi still on his feet. Gismondi, and he's cut down at about the 33-yard line. First down and 10 for the Eagles. Good field position to start things for West Deptford. And, of course, they hold a 19-13 edge. Ironically, it's been the passing game of West Deptford that has really, really hurt this Cedar Creek defense.
Who would have thought that pregame? Again, tight end is over to the top of the screen here. Wide out is almost on the sidelines, just trying to create some space.
First and 10. Seas with the football, and we're going to have a penalty here. Seas picked up about 3, and I'm not sure. May have had a motion penalty.
The officials are going to talk this out to see how many guys, if it truly was an unbalanced. Yep. Pointed that out pre-snap. There isn't. Now there was 2 men on this side, the guard and tackle, and then on the other side, you had your 4 men on the line of scrimmage. One being the wide out tight end, and then your tackle and guard.
Well, C's got 4 out of a play that looked like nothing.
And for those of you who are trying to get home going, that's only 6 guys. Yes, the center makes the 7th. So you're looking for 4-man, 2-man, or 3-man by 3-man side.
Oreo sprints to his right. This play's been effective all day. Oreo breaks it open. Oreo into the secondary across midfield.
Into Cedar Creek territory at the 48-yard line.
Well, Pete Oreo's having his coming out party.
Sure is. Again, he's putting his arms, he has it up with the illusion of pass there, which the wide receiver did run a bench route. So this one might have been a design pass, and he just tucks it down. There's nobody there on that weak side. I would assume they're going to come right attack this weak side again, maybe with fullback toss.
Oreo pitches, and Watson comes away with a big tackle.
Making a living the second half to the weak side here. Just creating a numbers advantage. In that situation, the tight end was up top, but then you had a back in the backfield strong. You had a wing strong down here. So in theory, it's the illusion that the field is the strength there, but you had all your guys down here.
This may be the last play that West Deptford gets with the win. Do you throw that ball? Does that come into your thinking?
Today? Yes, sure. Oreo's throwing the ball well.
Hands it off to Gismondi. Can't get up ahead of steam, and he's stopped at about the 43.5-yard line. And that will do it for 3 quarters here at Rowan University. We head to the 4th quarter. We have ourselves a great football game. West Deptford on top of Cedar Creek by 6 in the South Jersey Group 2 Championship game. Your Atlantic City Electric Game of the Week. Welcome back to Rowan University. Fourth quarter. West Deptford on top, 19-13, Group 2 championship game. Third down and long. Cutting it back inside, it sees. He stopped at the 40-yard line or thereabouts, and now again another decision here for Clyde Folsom and his coaching staff. Do you punt the football or do you go for it? It looks like he's going to punt it.
Again, watch some pre-snap movement. A lineman trying to put their hand on the ground to kind of simulate a snap in essence, but it's called shutdown to try to get them to jump off sides. Obviously 5 yards here gets you a first.
And one thing that you have mentioned repeatedly is this return team has to get it together. We'll see. The punt is away, angled, and again they're going to let it bounce, and this time it bounces backwards. That's the only thing they have working in their favor.
I don't get it. I'm not certain. You now look at the wind again, and that's kind of what you do, right? It's fourth down. You're on the sidelines. You take a peek. Where are we setting our returners? Hey, you have a preliminary scouting report. There's no doubt. Okay, that punter, shoot, we got one right here sitting for us. That punter's a 37.1 average. Not today.
Yeah,
not today.
That's right.
It's all,
take a minimum of 10 yards with that win.
It's all tentative. Move up. Catch the football.
Well, it comes down to one quarter play. West Deptford with a 6-point edge. Milza, your quarterback. And Cedar Creek will start this drive back at their 18-yard line. Rush right up the gut and maybe a yard at most.
Right, they went right back to that inside zone with that little fold play with the guard kicking out and the tackle wrapping. Now at this point, you ran that 3 straight times. Now in your last 3 run plays have pretty much been that play. You now have to probably counter with something off of that.
2nd and 9. Milza out of the spread. He's had a lot underneath available to him. Milza still with time. Now rolls out of the pocket. Milza throws and short hops his intended receiver. That is Watson.
This is kind of similar situation, similar territory as it was last year.
Mm-hmm.
I believe West Deptford went into the fourth quarter with the lead, and then there was a toss pass to put a go ahead, and then there was a.
They lost by 1 last year. Right now, should they score, the difference is an extra point.
Correct. Big third down here. Big third down. Even not saying you probably have maybe 2 more times you're going to touch the football at best. If you can obviously maintain possession here, it's critical, and also to win the field position battle.
Watson in motion. Milza by himself, throws underneath, has Melton, and he falls forward. He'll have enough for the first down. When in doubt, find Bo Melton.
Correct. Complimentary play, and what you have to notice what just happened there was Isaiah Watson did same type of motion. He ran the crossing now. And they just switched places. Now put Bo in the slot there where he can be the guy coming from behind. Attention went to Isaiah Watson on the crossing route, and it left Bo wide open, as you just saw in the replay.
1st down and 10. They have a 3rd down on the sideline, but it is 1st down and 10 for Milza. Watson gets chased, cuts it inside, and thrown down at about the 39-yard line. That looked like a negative play, and he turned it into something big.
It was. Garrison made a good play. He punctured the D, undercut it, and saw a run through and just took it. Watson put his foot in the ground, got himself 8 yards. You see right here, Garrison just couldn't wrap him up because Mundy does a nice job here maintaining his outside position, and Baglivo ultimately brings him down.
Good team tackle on Watson. He has shown that he is a weapon along with both Melton brothers. 2nd down, 2 yards to go. Cedar Creek moving the football now at their own 39-yard line with about 9 minutes remaining. Milza gets pressure, throws underneath, has him. Nice little hookup, finding Watson, 1st down. So Milza felt the pressure, found his safety valve in Watson, and completed the 1st down.
It's a nice concept there to have a crossing route and then you're banking on a backer running with the crossing route and then retracing with that third receiver now, just hitting where that backer vacated. Nice job there, sticking your foot in the ground and delivering that ball to move the sticks.
Clock continues to move. 1st and 10 at the 44. Cedar Creek with Watson in the backfield. Twins split both left and right. Handoff, Watson. Finds a small seam, exploits it for about 4 or 5.
To the 48-yard line. Brought down by Bob Metz.
Bob Metz made the play there. Again, it's a 4 or 5 yard gain on 1st down. You need to stay patient. Also, the best thing for Cedar Creek is, you're also keeping West Deptford's offense off the field.
Yep.
Because they got that 3-headed monster too. We've talked about it. Put today Pete Oreo in there. You got a 4-headed monster because he's played really big today.
Milza, deep drop, throws underneath, in and out of the hands of Melton. And Melton was, whether he did it purposely, wise to let go of that football. Milza, again, looked downfield first, didn't see anything, dropped it to Melton, and Garrison was right there.
Real good protection there. They just ran a little mesh concept underneath there with the back running a flat route and the wide receiver coming back underneath it. They had some vertical routes as well. It's manageable though, 3rd and 6 here for Cedar Creek.
Milza directing Watson. Milza throws, and it's defended. Pete Oreo, he's having himself a heck of a day.
Real nice play there. Yeah, Mills is looking, he sees him, he's open. The next thing you know, hey, Oreo comes over the top, nice job, field hand, swatting the ball out. One thing that probably Watson could have done is continue to work back and create that separation. Maybe drift back a little bit to create a little bit of space between him and Oreo. Moran needs a good punt here. He needs a good punt.
Remember, he's had one blocked already today. Cedar Creek is going to have to defend this punt well. Snap, Moran, no pressure, and it's not a good punt. It rolls to the 36-yard line. That's about a 17-yard punt, and Milza had the wind to his back.
He did. He's got to get out of his own head right now.
You have to feel the nerves are getting
to him. You do. You feel really bad for the kid. Again, as we made mention already earlier today, that he works really hard. He's ready for this moment. Clear his head, because a touchdown, this game could rely on his foot, with an extra point.
It's a good point. He's got to forget it. 7:30 left. Fumble! The ball's loose, and West Deptford able to fall on it. So Lim able to fall on the football, a loss of 4. That certainly would have changed this football game, but credit Lim. Didn't try to do anything more than fall on a football.
Looked like the play was designed, I think it was going to just be a basic power play to create some positive yards on 1st down. Now you're behind the sticks. Good for Cedar Creek. Let's see what West Deptford's coming out with now to try to make this a manageable 3rd down.
Well, they've been burned by the throw. We'll see whether they go to the air. Oreo again sprints to his right. Oreo, and he's sacked. Back at his 24-yard line.
That's Michael Gouleg, he came up with a big play there. This is a similar situation that they were in before with this 3rd and long. Don't think that West Deptford is going to be as aggressive now. You see the team pictures there, basically. There's 4 guys there sniffing out that waggle. I don't anticipate West Deptford being as aggressive. Don't want that Twins look and running the post wheel concept. With that being said, that's what they're going to do. Either I would expect possibly a screen here as a safe play, or look at one of the wing backs coming underneath for a counter crisscross or salad.
And now a timeout called by West Deptford. Keep that in mind as this game looks to be a nail-biter. Cedar Creek was burnt in the first quarter Similar situation. Now, again, in that situation, you're deeper down the field. If the other team intercepts the football, it works as a punt. Here, it's a little bit of a different dynamic.
It is. And now, if it pick here, it also, whether it's false or not, it creates momentum. It creates, wow, we got to pick. Cedar Creek's fans are going to go crazy. Yeah. All of a sudden, it's a belief now.
That's a great point. As a coach, I always think about that. Do you think about that?
You do. You have to. You have to play with that Mr. Momentum. It's very important. And so again, that's why I anticipate coach, saying, hey, ball security is a key. Whatever they're doing, even if they're going to throw the ball here, if you're not 100% certain, eat it to live to see another down. But if you throw a pick here, and now in the same sense, you have guys that can take it to the house.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden you're going from leading this game 19-13 with 6 minutes left to have to play catch up.
We both know they haven't done a good job returning punts.
No. Again, set recognition is big.
3rd down and 22. And a big run here. Still on his feet, first down. Ball's loose. Sees. Wow. What can you say? You needed 22, you got 24.
It's a really good call. Again, you're thinking one of those wing backs, you're going to go counter crisscross, you're going to go Sally, right? He's going to fake that. You got all your blocking going. You're essentially running a naked play there, meaning there's no blocking whatsoever. You are banking on the full flow, on the guard action, the tight end leaving, everybody, and you're just one-on-one now. And there was nobody home. That's basically a really good play call.
You're basically using the aggressiveness of the defense against themselves.
Correct.
Gismondi's still driving forward. And again, you talk about momentum. It's all West Deptford's right now.
There it is. You had a chance to completely change momentum of this game, get a chance to get the ball back, ideal field position, go win a game. Now you're fighting. And this is Gismondi time. He loves this. Put the ball in my hands right now when the game's on the line.
2nd down and 4. Twice now, Cedar Creek has been unable to defend 30 and over 20 yards to go. And there is Seas. And Seas stopped for maybe a gain of a half a yard or so. 3rd down. And again, West Deptford in a critical 3rd down situation. That sprint out by Oreo has been so effective.
It has. I expect here maybe toss here to the boundary.
Cut inside, 1st down.
Don't know that. Oh, now you got the 1st down because that's Gio Gismondi. That's what he does. He's a punishing back.
I mean, that play right there kind of exemplifies what you talk about in terms of a championship football game. Who's going to quit first? And it's not going to be Gio Gismondi.
No, it's not. And that's why we spotlight him. You look, that's a rugby scrum there. And that's why we talked about him in the top. And you sit here and you just watch that kid play and perform over the past 3 seasons. Again, as an opposing coach, it wasn't fun to watch when you're playing them. Every week when you had a chance to watch him on tape, talk to the young man, it's just great to see that play for him.
Inside of 4 minutes, West Deptford 1st and 10, handoff inside, and a gain of about 2 or 3. They are content to continue to pound the football and eat up the clock. And C's starting to limp a bit. He has had himself quite a day. And Gismondi.
He's okay. We'll be. He's 3 minutes and 33 seconds away from a title and a perfect season. West Deptford's 4th in their history, under Coach Folsom. I think he's good.
2nd down and 8. Lim to the outside, and he slips. And Cedar Creek calls a timeout. Well, this has been Cedar Creek's Achilles heel, 3rd and long.
And it's so ironic because that's when you're talking to Coach Watson before the game, and you want them, and you got to circle back to this play, what sets up this 3rd and long. Again, it's faking the belly inside to Gismondi. And the complimentary play is now let's hit Lynn or C's. In this case, it was C's to the field with a complimentary outside sweep play. It is just so ironic, though, 3rd and long has been the Achilles heel, and that's what Coach Watson needed West Deptford to be in.
Take a look at Cedar Creek's schedule, of course. They started out against a Group 4 school in Absegami, Delsey, the defending champion. That was a big win. And then they end up losing at Camden, who many expected to have a big season. It didn't kind of play out that way, but again,
they got to remember right now they need a stop here, because at the end of the day they're the reigning champs, and this is a perfect scenario for West Deptford. Yeah, listen, you want to be the champ, and beating the champ in one of these games, it's a great thing. It's a great situation, but they got to they just got to suck it up and find a way to make a stop here.
3:09 left, 3rd down and 10. Oreo with pressure. Oreo stays on his feet. Oreo is sacked back at the 44-yard line. Well, Bowles created pressure and Gulick able to finish him off.
And if he had a little time there, you had Lynn that was open. You had guys open, because I don't think that Cedar Creek anticipated a pass there. They anticipated a run there just to try to, again, use some clock. It's 4th down. Cedar Creek has to, you take a look there, right? Melton almost has him. Bowles almost has him, right? And then finally you got Gulick and Rivera there to also just to finish him off. Cedar Creek, punt return. Yeah. First of all, you're going to come after it, right? You're going to probably come after it. I take that number 16 fella. Instead of putting him back there, put him up there and let your fastest guy go attempt to block this punt. But also you have to make sure you look at the wind, clears the flag again. It's coming in, move up, right?
The ball's at the 44. I mean, I would think you leave your guys at the 20, 25-yard line. I mean,
because he's going to be punting this ball from the 45-yard line.
The wind is still a factor here. It's considerable. So, 2 men back, Melton and Chapman. Good snap. Punts away. It's high, and they're going to let it bounce again. Don't understand why, but they let it bounce, and that costs some critical yardage. Now they have limited room to operate.
I have nothing for this, Rob, at this point. It's one of those things it's hard to fathom watching a Rutgers-bound player just let that one hit at that point, catch the football. And general rule of thumb is you put your heels on the 10, and if a ball's over your head, that's when you do that fake, I'm going to fake fair catch it.
Yeah. It's at the 6-yard line. Listen, they have 94 yards to go. If they score on this drive, I guess you could say they deserve to win the championship.
Yeah, no doubt. It takes moments like this, and hey, there's no kid. Mills is prepped. He's ready for the moment. Whatever's going to happen in the next 2:48 remains to be seen.
Melton in motion. Handoff, Watson. And Watson gets nowhere. You know, if you're Tim Watson, you're saying to Mills right now, listen, we got plenty of time. Don't try to force anything. You know, chunks of 6-7 yards are fine.
Correct. Scratch where it itches. Don't be greedy.
Empty backfield here for Milza. 2nd down and 11. Milza throws. Short hops his receiver.
Short. And West Deptford now is kind of going to their version of a prevent defense. It's rushing 4, dropping kind of 7 in coverage here. Just trying to prevent big plays. Make them drive. If they're going to drive the ball 96 yards, then tip your hat. Now, though, I wouldn't be surprised if you dial up a blitz here, because you're going to be throwing the football here. Maybe you have 4, you're going to rush that inside back, or maybe Oak or Garrison inside here. Let's see what they do.
Milza with time, throws deep, into coverage, and it's defended. 4th down. Low percentage pass as West Deptford continues to play soft coverage. Not going to get beat on the long ball.
No, and you can't. You absolutely, you can't there. Tremendous discipline by the DBs here. And this, you only have one timeout left, so you have to go. You don't have a choice here. Can't say I'm going to play good defense and get it back. High school football, you don't get a 2-minute warning.
4th down and 11. 4 receivers for Milza. Low snap, Milza throws, has his man wide open. 1st down, it's Melton. We talked about the soft coverage, don't get beat deep, but that allows that 12-yard out pattern, and Melton gets the 1st down.
Big time throw there. And even pre-snap, though, again, that's what West Everett's been doing. If you look at it on the tape here, on the replay, they had Novak jamming Melton. Then he just fades off into coverage and tries to play underneath it. Good throw there.
Clock continues to move down to 1:45 left. Milza looks, has time, throws, has an out, and it's Melton again. This time it's Malachi.
Best part about that, you still have your timeout in your pocket. Also, it's critical here on 1st downs. You don't want to have to burn a timeout on 1st down. You want to make sure that you get a play call because of the natural timeout of the sticks moving. You want to make sure that you are executing that part of the 2-minute drill flawlessly.
The officials timeout here, and I believe we have a player down.
Again, if you take a look here, throws the receiver open. That's a long throw too, across the field, an out route. Ended up, with a big conversion there.
One of the concerns defensively is if you continue to let up those short out patterns, that someone gets too aggressive and then you have an out and up and then it's a touchdown.
Correct. And then one thing that West Everett's going to do, they're always going to play 2 high safeties, try to get one over the top, so he's their last line of defense. The key thing in West Everett's got in their back pocket, this isn't a field goal game.
Yeah.
They have to score.
Right.
So if you want to continue to push them and watch them go, that makes total sense.
So it was Gismondi who was down on the field, and obviously he'll have to sit out at least one play here. He looks like he's okay.
See who they put in his place, because inevitably when you see that happen, what do? You kind of attack the new guy who maybe hasn't played many snaps. In this case, they just inserted C's, moved Baglivo to corner, right? So you got all guys who are game ready. So wipe that off the table.
1st and 10, empty backfield for Milza. They blitz, throw, up, and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That was Melton, and you could see the blitz coming from the edge. Milza hung it up a little bit, but gave Melton an opportunity to catch the football.
Oh, he sure did. However, again, that was probably one of those throw it aways. You don't have that rule in high school, whether you're out of the pocket, if you get back to the line of scrimmage or not. It would have gained 8. It would have been a nice little positive, but the clock would have been continuously moving there.
Gismondi is back in the football game. 2nd down and 10, 1 minute and 32 seconds left. Milza throws, he's hit when he throws, it's underneath, it's picked off, taking a knee, and West Deptford looks like they're going to win themselves another Group 2 championship.
They sure are, and that's a sophomore making a big-time pick in a big-time situation. If we were going to see that one again, Milza was under some intense pressure. He had to get rid of the football, and he just tried to give his player a chance to make it. You take a look here, he's looking, he's scanning, can't see who made that hit. Great job disrupting, and Lynn, great job being a ball hawk back there in the secondary.
Well, it's been a great football game. 1 minute 26 left, and West Deptford with a 6-point edge. Cedar Creek has 1 timeout remaining.
It's hammer victory time. That's it. They can't do anything else.
West Deptford looking to avenge the loss to Cedar Creek from last year, 28-27. Handoff. And A gain of about 2.
Gain of 2 on the play down to the 45-yard line. Second down.
Timeout called with 1:17 left.
Cedar Creek calls timeout.
So Clyde Folsom will come out, take a knee most likely here. You would think. You were surprised they didn't take a knee there.
He might be talking that over with the official right now. Can I take a knee?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's one of those. I know there's these charts and all this other stuff, but it's game stuff, and you got to figure it out.
Well, again, if there's the difference right now, you got 30 seconds after the ball's spotted, right? Is that correct? Okay. So by the time the play runs,
25.
Yeah. So, maybe it's a situation where you get a snap and run around a little bit and then fall down.
Just back up, take your time, putting it down. So anyway, here it's regardless. You got West Deptford is 117 away from their seventh title.
They won in 2012 against Cedar Creek, 42-28. Lost last year, 28-27. They're going to run the football again.
Cedar Creek's got to get off the pile. If you're Cedar Creek, you're wanting these officials to put this football down instead of doing what they're doing and taking their time.
How much does that anger you as a coach?
It infuriates you. Don't change your mechanics now. Whatever you have done during the game, don't change it now on us. There's no need. You take a knee. The game is over.
They did take a couple extra seconds there.
You don't need to do anything.
Right.
Take a knee on third down, never have to snap the ball again. That's it.
Folsom will call timeout with 1 second left here. And then we'll see how much time we have left on the clock. We'll take a knee and go from there. So you have 31 seconds left.
Take a knee. Game over.
31 seconds left. You take a knee. You have 6 seconds there. It's probably going to be the 6 seconds. And if not, then you snap the football and you just run backwards, right?
Correct. Quarterback just takes a couple steps back, takes his time for a few seconds, take a knee, don't hand the ball back to the official directly. Hey, hold it a little bit, try to hug your buddy, hey, we just won a title. Then decide to give the ball back to the official. There's your 6 seconds.
It's been an interesting game, no doubt, as Cedar Creek has been exploited by the throwing of Pete Oreo, something we didn't anticipate. Third down. Again, they're going to hand it off, and that should be the football game. Clock inside of 25 seconds, and they will not have to snap the football again. Clyde Folsom looks to his fans with fingers up in the air, and that is all they need to do. Inside of 10 seconds, there's going to be a party in West Deptford tonight.
You think so? No doubt. It might just happen right here in Glassboro.
Well, that says it right there. Just the exuberance, the joy. I guess in some ways, when you've won so many championships, it becomes a feeling of relief as well. It is,
and this never gets old, and this is why you do it. This is, everybody wants to be here at this time of year. Hey, shoot, we do. And you're sitting here, you're watching it, and winning championships is fun. And at the end of the day, you look at a coach who's getting a lot of congratulations, well deserved. His teams are always extremely well coached, always well prepped, and to run the tables is special. It's a hard thing to do. Now it's in his tenure, this is their fourth time doing it, going undefeated, and there's a lot. There's going to be a lot of celebrating going on tonight in West Deptford.
coach wants to talk about one team being better than another team in terms of the locker room, but Clyde Folsom has said repeatedly just how much he loved coaching this team, the character of this team, the seniors in particular, how much he wanted to win this game for them. And fortunately for his seniors and Clyde Folsom, that will come to fruition.
Oh, correct. And every now you get those groups. Every kid, every class that goes through has a special identity, and they leave a legacy on the program. And this is no different. Great group of seniors. Obviously, this Monday is leading the crew with, McGuire, who are four-year guys that have worked hard for this moment. There's a bunch of other guys, and then you're able to get a kid like C's who transfers in, Oreo to transfers in. That strengthens a bond, and that can either make or break it sometimes too when you get new kids to the mix. And credit their staff and credit their kids for phenomenal season. And it's championships are remembered. Undefeated teams are always remembered and honored. And all the credit that goes to West Deptford and their staff. And they can hang their head, put their head on the pillow tonight, very proud of what they were able to accomplish.
On the other side of the football, Cedar Creek, again, nothing to hang their heads about. A tremendous season. They won a game against Middle Township in the first round of the playoffs relatively easily, and then they took on a Willingboro team that you saw. It was a tight game, and they kind of figured it out. Just 1 point edge over Willingboro, much like they did last year to West Deptford. They seem, Tim Watson, you got to give some credit to him as a head coach. He seems to be able to win those tight games. Unfortunately, it didn't happen today.
No, and we're talking about Coach Watson, who's taken a program literally from nowhere. They didn't have a football helmet in the building. They didn't even have a school. And they played 1 year of just JV football, and then they played, this is their sixth varsity season. They're 45-11 over in his tenure. Third trip to the finals. And again, he was very upfront. In order to get to this point, you have to have great kids.
Yep.
You can sit there and say everyone's well coached, and as a coach, you just want to make sure when you get a group like this, you got two kids going to Rutgers from it. You just want to be able to give them the opportunity to get here and experience this, because this atmosphere is second to none when you get here. Again, so Cedar Creek knows what it feels like to win, and unfortunately now, tonight they feel like what it is to lose this year. And let's look again, at West Deptford and them enjoying their moment and getting their trophy.
As you mentioned, Owen Bowles and Bo Melton will be playing their football up in New Brunswick next year in the Big Ten, and they'll certainly continue their careers. And here's a moment that West Deptford will always enjoy. Clyde Folsom getting together, a team that is made up of 20 seniors. He talked about the importance of leadership of this group, the importance of being a great role model. We've seen that this is a team that illustrates great discipline on the field and off the field. It pays dividends, and the biggest dividend is right there, that very trophy.
It is, and the great things are still even to come when you sit down, the excitement of, you got a ring on your finger that when you start to design those and pick those out, and you start to immortalize what just happened. And you sit there now, again, this is an undefeated run, which makes it, I don't want to say even more special, but it's a challenging thing to do to win all your games. But, they deserve everything they get here, and all credit to them, and the best team in Group 2.
So with that, West Deptford, again, a tremendous program. They finished 11-0. I know after we won the championship, we always wanted more. State championship. Do you want a state championship in the state of New Jersey?
There's a great argument for it. There's no doubt, Rob. And I'm sure if you ask them today, yeah, sure you do. But there's also something about these venues and these atmospheres, which you still can provide, but again, you got to be careful what you wish for, because then also you might be risking some long-standing Thanksgiving Day traditions and other things of that nature too. But everyone likes to compete, and you're all competitors.
Well, Frank, I want to thank you for joining me and the crew over these last 3 championship games. It's been a lot of fun. West Deptford caps off our telecast here with a big victory over Cedar Creek. West Deptford is your Group 2 South Jersey champion, 19-13 over Cedar Creek. For my partner, Frank DeLano, my director, and my crew, and everybody who has joined us behind the scenes or back at home, thank you. I'm Rob Christ. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Your Atlantic City Electric Game of the Week has West Deptford, your Group 2 champions.